want to run. Gaffney, alley-oop, and a slam dunk, two-handed jam. It's thrown down by Elijah Martin, and he's fouled. Golden in the post, nice pass underneath to Weatherspoon, who scores with the left hand. Golden got doubled. Weatherspoon able to cut from the backside. Nobody accounted for him in an easy basket. Martin turns the corner down the lane, kicks it right corner. Forrest three, got it! Mike Forrest hit the three with 12 and 4/10 seconds left. 5-point FAU lead. Davis, shot fake. Here he comes on the drive. Into the lane, hook shot, right hand scores. Kelly Davis 1v1, and he has FAU up 64-61.
Some of the best plays from the month of January as the Owls reached the top 25 for the first time in school history, ranked number 24 in the January 16th poll.
It has certainly been an historic season so far for the Owl men's basketball team. Hi everyone, I'm Frank Forte. Welcome to this week's edition of Inside the Owls Burrow. 2 years ago as a freshman, Nick Boyd appeared in 23 games for the Owls, averaging 15 minutes and 5 points per game. He sat out all of last season with a broken foot suffered in preseason practice. This year, he's returned to claim a spot in the starting lineup and show off his variety of skills.
It was extremely difficult, as a freshman. I came in, I worked hard, I got some minutes on the court, so that was encouraging. Just coming in, it was very tough as a freshman to get some time out there. So that summer after my freshman year, I took training very seriously. I was in the gym a lot, trying to get my body ready, get my jumper ready, etc., to work on my weaknesses. And I felt good coming in. I thought I had a good shot to get even more time. And then having the foot injury was tough. It was kind of like a setback. It was hard to just sit on the side and watch the guys. We had a decent year, but I was always motivated to just come back better, you know what I'm saying? So in the hindsight, that was the positive, but it was very tough to be on the side and just watch, especially after all the work I put in that summer, after coming off of a decent freshman year.
Was there ever a consideration of trying to come back at the end of the year, but you decided, let's just take the red shirt and move on?
Broke my foot in like you said, a preseason practice, which was about the end of September. I ended up getting surgery in October. So from October to about December, January, I was working on getting back and trying to rehab. And I had talks with Coach May, my family, and I just felt like it would have been a lot for me to really come back and be as effective as I thought I could be in just that short amount of time. So ultimately, looking at where I was and how many years I had left, I just talked to my family, and Coach May was so supportive in that. He just said he just feels like it's best for me to just redshirt and just try to get to my best shape and best form. So yeah, ultimately, it was kind of like the plan we came to, yeah.
You say you worked a lot on your game after that freshman year and even after the injury. So what areas do you feel you're a better player?
Coming in as a freshman, I was always a good offensive player. I wasn't too bad. Obviously, I had a lot to work on, but I could shoot, I could pass. I think I really improved on my strength coming from freshman year to that following year, and also my jump shot, shooting off the dribble, being confident, taking some tough shots that are good within the offense, as well as I would say just my defense. My defense came a long way since my freshman year, just being more confident and staying in front of guys and being somebody who could be vocal on the defensive end. I feel like that's where I came the farthest along at.
Nick was a really good basketball player as a freshman, and then sitting out a year after playing is an opportunity to really grow and see things in a different light. And Nick's leadership is what we miss the most. He's always been a very good shooter. He's been our best passer off ball screens in practice for 3 years. So his production is not surprising. The leadership is what he's really brought to our team that we were lacking. He does everything on the offensive side of the ball very well. Defensively, he's come a long way and he's become a good defender. I can't say that was the case the first couple years. He just brings so many positive qualities to our team. His infectious energy, his day-to-day work ethic is probably what separates him from most players his age.
I like how aggressive he is attacking downhill. He can shoot the ball, facilitate, strong at the basket, and he looks for his teammates as well. I like how, not just only Nick, but our whole team, I like how we share the ball well and how we play for each other, and that's why we've been playing so well this year.
I'll be honest with you, growing up, I was very small. I didn't grow till the end of my high school career. So I think that that chip was always that. I was always the smallest guy on the court, but I had the loudest voice. I was always talking, so I feel like that makes it easier today. And I think, growing up, playing in New York City all the time, tournaments, AAU, Riverside Hawks, in Jersey, you know, it's just like, I think it did build a little like chip on me and stuff like that in a sense. But I think ultimately, just being small pretty much my whole high school career, and then finally getting some in my height, that just made me be tough and just strong, you know.
Boyd has long admired Owl newcomer Jalen Gaffney, as both played in the New York City area. Boyd from just outside the city and Gaffney from northern New Jersey.
Actually, Gaff, like I always watched Gaff play in high school. Like he was always on the top teams and stuff like that. So it's like kind of like full circle in a way to be actually beside him and play and hoop with him. But yeah, we definitely have some things in common. I just like I said, I feel like Gaff has a nose for like a knack for the game, and he knows how to share the ball, and he just knows how to play well. And I feel like that's what we pretty much share in common the most, besides just being from Jersey and stuff like that. Just knowing the one to make the right play and just being unselfish. You know what I'm saying?
Coming up next, learn about the career path of Janeta Rozentale of women's basketball. That's straight ahead on Inside the Owls Burrow.
Welcome back to Inside the Owls Burrow. I'm Frank Forte. The FAU women's basketball team has 7 new players on the roster this season, but head coach Jennifer Sullivan can also count on some veteran players, including Latvian native Janeta Rozentale. When did you start thinking about maybe I'd like to come to the United States and play college basketball?
I think like 15. That's when the first time I played for the national team under 16, and we had a tournament in Portugal. And after the first game, I think a coach or something reached out to me from the US and offered me like, oh, you maybe want to like, are you interested in coming to the US and play basketball? And I was like, okay, like that's a good opportunity. And that's I think when I started to like considering it.
What was the plan when you came over, and how has that worked out for you? Has it stayed on course, or has it taken kind of a little bit of a shift?
It was a little bit of a shift because I started at USF my freshman year. Then I had to transfer, but I ended up here and I'm really happy. Obviously before like coming, I did not plan on transferring, but it happened. But now like everything has been like smooth how I wanted. And after sitting out a year, I had to like start my way back into playing, and it was hard after a year like sitting out and getting back into the game shape and playing everything. So it was hard, but now like I feel good.
How has your game changed or developed in your time here at FAU?
It definitely has developed a lot. Back in Latvia, I used to be like a more traditional post player. I used to play outside, but like more like a traditional because I was taller than everyone, and it was easier just for me just to get the ball and like go score over someone. But now I'm not the tallest in the conference or against the teams we play, so I have to learn how to use my body to create a contact or my speed. I've been looking more to shoot threes. That's something like I didn't do as much before. Before I was just only like a driver or like a post up. So now I've been like looking to shoot more. So yeah, the game is definitely like expanded more.
Just really talented. I mean, the sky's kind of the limit because she can score out on the floor. She can post up. She can put the ball on the floor. So, and then she's got great work ethic. So the sky's the limit. We're really excited to have her here, work with her. Has done a really good job, and I think it's showing a little bit more on the court. Not only can she do those things, but comfortable being a great rebounder for us, finishing around the rim, pulling it back out to set things up, trying to encourage her a little bit more to be comfortable shooting the three consistently. But for the most part, again, she just works hard and wants to do whatever we ask her to do.
I would describe her as someone that hustles, has grit, and she's so internally motivated. She doesn't need any external people or anything telling her to do something. She'll do it on her own without anyone telling her to do it. So,
you've already put up a number of double-doubles this year, and I know you know it's easy to get bogged down in statistics, but is that kind of a cool thing when you see, 12 points, 10 rebounds, or whatever it is?
It is because I think not everyone realizes how hard it is actually rebounding. Everyone thinks I would just go for like a rebound, but it's actually hard to like fight down there against bigger players, against like 3-4 people, just go there and like get the ball. It's hard, but that's something I like to do.
Janeta has also represented her home country in a number of different international basketball competitions.
Definitely really nice to put up the jersey that says Latvia and you go against different teams. I played in the World Cup, I played against Team USA, I played against Australia, different teams, different levels of competition. It's really nice, and especially because Latvia is a really small country, but basketball is big there. But it's definitely a really nice feeling. When I was younger, that was something I was always looking forward in the season. When there was coming closer to the summer, I was like, oh, it's time to play for your national team. It was something everyone was looking forward to.
Do you feel like, with your experience here, that you're somebody your teammates look to in terms of doing the right things on and off the court or leadership? Do you sort of see yourself that way?
I hope so. I always try to do what's right. I always try to encourage people. I always try to work hard, do my best on the court. So I hope I'm someone who they especially freshmen maybe who play my position, look up to.
Coming up next, a look at the women's tennis spring season. That's next on Inside the Owls Burrow. Inside the Owls Burrow is brought to you in part by Baptist Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, the official orthopedics and sports medicine provider of FAU Athletics, and by Florida Atlantic University, MBA in Sport Management.
Welcome back to Inside the Owls Burrow. I'm Frank Forte. The FAU women's tennis team finished last season ranked number 66 in the country, and with veteran players returning at the top of the lineup, they feel pretty good about being even better this year.
Open the racket base. We don't have to clear the net so much. Make sure you're driving that ball. Good swing.
Having players like Martina and Katarina, veteran players at the top of the lineup, do you expect them to really lead the way, not only in matches, but every day in practice?
Yeah, I think they do a pretty good job at that. Last season they did great, not only in the matches, but also on the daily basis. So they are great leaders for the team.
For me, I'm taking it that I love tennis. Tennis was and is always my life, and I take it that every day I'm gonna put work in, and to be number one or leader is just something extra. But I'm not taking it, or I'm not putting too much focus if I'm number 1 or 5. I just love this sport and I love FAU. So for me, it's such an honor to play number 1.
First of all, has the time here at FAU gone quickly as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, a lot faster than I was ever thinking of. It's my last season here, so obviously I wanted to do best as I can for the team, for the girls. So I'm really looking forward to last season, and yeah, we'll see what's gonna go for.
Amber McGinnis is a former 5-star recruit from Pompano Beach. She transferred after her first year at the University of Florida, but struggled in 2022 with the Owls. She's worked hard to rediscover her game.
For me, it was a complete shock, and I mean, it was a hard adjustment not getting those wins, but I've kind of taken it step by step and accepted that I haven't been doing well, and I want what's best for myself, so I just have put every single thing I could to get better, and this season, it's going to be different. In the off season, I spent every hour on the court. If it wasn't playing, it was coaching. If it wasn't morning, it was night hitting serves. I've dedicated everything to getting back to playing good tennis. You know, I've struggled the past 2 years, and I mean, to be honest, I know what I'm capable of, and I've kind of just struggled confidence-wise, and I really started feeling to come back.
Freshman Maya Shinnok never lost a singles match representing Boca's Spanish River High School. She went 3-3 for the Owls in the fall, learning that college tennis is definitely a step up.
It's honestly a little bit of an adjustment just because there's more losses, but I think that's part of the growing experience, and I'm getting to be a better player because of it. College tennis is definitely more competitive and intense, and you're not there alone. I feel like in high school and junior tournaments, you were out there alone playing tournaments, but out here it's there's so much support and love among your teammates, and it just makes it so much more of a fun experience.
Now in his second season as director of tennis, overseeing both the men's and women's programs, Ricardo Gonzalez has struck a balance on devoting sufficient time to each team.
For me, each program is very important for me, so it's been a fun challenge. You know, it hasn't been easy, it's been a fun challenge. The recruiting part on both sides have been tough, but it's been great. I think we've recruited great players on both programs. On the women's side, you know, we finished 66th in the country last year, and obviously every year we want to continue to improve and progress among those rankings.
The FAU men's tennis team began their season with 3 matches in 3 days. The Owls defeated Rice and USF in the last 2 matches, with junior Philip Crollo finding the energy to clinch both wins with back-to-back marathon 3-set victories. Up next, we'll dive into the personalities of the Owls swim team. That comes your way next on Inside the Owls Burrow.
Glad you're with us this week on Inside the Owls Burrow. I'm Frank Forte, poolside. The beauty of living in South Florida in the winter. The FAU swim and dive team competes in this pool behind me. If you take a close look at the Owls roster, and you can't make this stuff up, you will find an ocean, a trout, and speed. Cameron Speed, was it your destiny with that name that you had to be either a track athlete or a swimmer?
You could say, I guess, with that kind of last name, but I think it's more so just my parents. I was born in Arizona, and we had a pool in our family house, and so they wanted me to start learning how to swim so I wouldn't walk out and accidentally drown myself. And then we moved to Pennsylvania, and we were looking to try and make new friends, and they threw me on a summer league team, and it just kind of went off from there. They saw I was, kind of decent, and they kept putting me in it, and I kept swimming. So.
Ocean Veldhouse, your parents must have known you wanted to be a marine biology major. Were you born to be a swimmer?
Yeah, my parents always grew up around the water, and so we always grew up around the water, my sisters and I, and we always spent a lot of time in the water. And my sisters also swam, so my parents knew they wanted to stick me in it too, and I just stuck with it. So.
When you meet new people and you tell them your name, do you get a lot of double takes?
Yeah, I get up there like, "Are you sure that's your real name?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Riley Trout, with your name, was there any doubt you'd be good in the water?
You know, I don't think my parents were expecting much when they signed me up for swim lessons, but from the first day that I did do swimming, I came out and told my mom that I loved it so much and I want to come back tomorrow. So I think ever since that point we knew it was for me, but I don't think they were expecting it to turn into this.
Now your mom's maiden name is what?
Wolf. So my family likes to say that she did go down in the food chain from wolf to trout, but...
How do you find out you're good at the backstroke? Because it's the most unnatural swim.
I always liked backstroke the best because in my eyes I could breathe the whole time. I was breathing on your back. You don't have to worry about your breathing pattern or anything, so it always felt easier to me. That can be a problem for some younger swimmers, is the fear at first of not knowing what's behind you, but I was always comfortable with it.
Jackson, sprints are your specialty. When you were a freshman, you medaled in 4 events at the conference championships. So what have you worked on since then to try and be a better swimmer, or how do you go about being a better swimmer?
I think it's more of just mixing it up, because I've kind of trained the same way when I was a freshman and sophomore, and I think this year I really started to change it up, and I've seen some good results so far this year. But what's not to like about sprints? You're only swimming for at max 2 minutes. So I get super excited about my races, and it's super fun to race and go out there and get medals for the team. Talent can only get you so far, and whether or not you whether or not you're gifted or not, you're gonna have to work to be able to achieve the goals that you set for yourself.
Contrast the sprint events with long distance, where swimmers race at 500, 1,000, or even 1,500 meters, the metric mile.
Describe what swimming a mile is like to those of us who've never done it.
It can be different each time you swim it, so it's a little bit of a challenge, but the biggest thing is the mental hurdles you kind of have to go throughout the swim. It's about a 15-minute swim. 66 laps. So yeah, there's plenty of time where you're just stuck with your own thoughts, and that can go either way sometimes. So that's the biggest challenge for sure.
Honestly, I think about a lot of things. I'm the type of swimmer who likes to think about my technique actually, but I have to learn how to get out of my head. So a couple times I actually sing the first few seconds of like Thunderstruck in my head, and I'll just say it like over and over again. Like that's a really good hype song for me that I like to use. I'll sing other songs. I'll honestly think about what I want for dinner. Like, I'm thinking about a lot. And then if I see somebody next to me, I go, oh, okay, I should probably start racing them now. I try and distract myself from the pain, so.
Between the fall competition and what you've been able to do this spring, where are you seeing progress in the team?
I mean, a lot of it. We've worked a lot in like quality of stroke and how to do things better, paying more attention, being in the present. And then you really can see it. So now it's just a matter of adding a little bit of speed and getting to where we need to go, conference in a few weeks.
Hey, you know what? It might be time for a dip. I'm Frank Forte. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Inside the Owls Burrow. And we leave you this week with a look at the start of FAU football's off-season strength and conditioning program.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.